to anyone that came across this video today, this is a synchronicity for you. You can believe it was an algorithm or you may believe it was a universe, but I'm sure you need to hear this today. It comes with the number 111, which in Chaldean numerology is a symbol of new beginnings, leadership, and independence. So why you've come across this video today? Well, because there's something you need to know. Most probably you're in a point of your life where you're getting yourself back on your feet for the greatest comeback of your life. And because you are just in this phase of your life, there's something you must know. The energy of 111 can't work for you if you don't apply what we'll be talking today about. And if you stick to the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do with the energy of 111. So we're living in a universe where everything works according to this one law, and it's law of frequency. Everything is matching certain frequency, and when it comes to 111, it's a synchronicity that you are tapping into a frequency that brings to something new. That's why it means new beginnings. It brings to something new, something freshly new. It's like a beginning of a new story, or a beginning of a new chapter, or even a beginning of a new book. But in order to really begin something new, to manifest something new, you need to get into a position of a leader. And a position of a leader is not just something that means like, hey, lead away. It means you need to become aware of your beliefs, because through your belief system, you're leading your life. You're living your life according to what you believe to be true, and somewhere in your past, you've normalized something that was projected onto you. And my question is always, do you still believe it to be true? Because you can only manifest what you believe to be true for yourself. 111 is also reminding you of your identity, self-reflections. If you spend some time understanding who you are, who you believe that you are, who you think that you are, how you're explaining yourself and expressing yourself, where is your focus, you will begin to realize that 111 is waking you up to a new identity, a bigger one, more cosmic one. You're a cosmic creator, co-creator of this simulation here. And the purpose of yours is to manipulate the energy. So you notice you truly can design a new life if you do what we'll be talking today about. It's all about focus, right? Focusing on that new story, on that new reality, that desired reality. And you can't do it if your emotions are still stuck in the past, if you're emotionally still feeling how you've been feeling most of your life. And that's why I wanted to bring you this message. So firstly, remind yourself that your reality is like a box. So now imagine yourself standing inside of the box, and all the walls of the box are bringing to you all the memories, everything familiar to you. And you're now like, I want to change that. Like, I don't like what I'm seeing around me. And so many people are living their lives in this kind of a box, wanting to change something that is on the walls of that box. And then they try certain things like affirmations or prayer or visualization, and maybe they even experience glimpses of changes and certain synchronicities, but on a long run, nothing works. So the thing is, it's not about changing what you're seeing inside of that box. It's about stepping outside of that box and seeing it as a part of the past. So you need to enter into a whole new box that is completely empty, that has empty walls, and you're about to design whatever you want to see on the walls of that new box. So we need to do it from a state of neutrality. That's why I'm always playing to art. I'm an artist. I'm creating paintings, And when you're observing art, it actually puts you into a state of neutrality. You're like, your brain goes more into alpha brainwave frequency, where you become more, aware and creative and a bit more playful. And if you really observe and maybe write down what we're talking about, you will notice that there's some truth to it, because it resonates with you. And the reason because it resonates with you is that deep inside you know that you don't need to be stuck in that certain box. And that box is a prison, and prison is a hell. And in order to experience a heaven instead of hell, you need to step out of the hell, right? You need to step out of the prison that was made by you, by your ancestors. It was made by the projection of beliefs, emotions, stories, identities onto you. And now if you want to step outside of it, you need to decide, okay, I want to create something new. And you can't create something new by staying where you are. You literally need to step outside of that box. So it's like a symbolic language, but more practically it means that you decide in this moment, I am beginning something new. So firstly, you need to know what new you are beginning. That's why you've started seeing 111, because your time has come to wake up from the illusion, from the sleepwalking, and design a new life, create a new life for yourself. And then don't do it out of excitement, or don't do it out of desire. Do it out of playfulness and inner peace. This is, if I bring to you an emotional scale, a photo of emotional scale, you see it on the screen, you will see that the higher emotions are really not just joy and bliss. You will see maybe enlightenment, you will see peace, you will see tranquility. The reason why on the higher point there's enlightenment is that a person who's enlightened is in equilibrium. It's not incredible joy, it's not intense passion, it's not intense gratitude, it's equilibrium. It's being in peace with everything. But the way to get there, to get into this crown state where you're at peace with everything, you need to stop fighting with what you're experiencing. You need to stop fighting with what you're experiencing. And as long as you're looking on the walls of your box, you're fighting. Like, I don't want this, I want something else. I don't want this, I want something else. But then you step outside of it and you recognize, I don't need to fight with anything. There's nothing to fight. I just design something new. So imagine now stepping out of that old box. You can visualize it, you can see it for yourself, you can draw it on a piece of paper, you can write it down, old box, new box, and make a cloud around it and draw some lines. One cloud is belief, other cloud is identity, another cloud could be focus, another cloud is my emotional experience, and another cloud is maybe mindset or a way of thinking. So you notice from what this box of yours was created. If you go deeper into your beliefs, your identity, your focus, your emotional expression, and so on, you may notice even whom gave you these ideas. Who was a person who was constantly feeling how you are feeling right now. So you begin to understand that there is no new beginnings without endings, right? You can't start something new without ending something old. And you can write it down, because I can't start something new without ending something old. I can't begin living an incredible life without ending a life of complaining. I can't become creator if I don't end a life of someone who's just wishing and hoping. I literally need to get myself onto a new frequency. And I understand the idea behind frequencies as when, for example, when you're watching TV, on one frequency there's a certain channel that's constantly giving you what you expect to receive on that channel. But then if you change a frequency onto a different channel, you receive on that channel what you expect to receive on that other channel. These are two different frequencies. When you're creating a new box, a new reality, that new box will be on a different frequency. So what do you expect to receive on that different frequency is what you create. But it's not about expecting it to happen, it's just knowing on that new frequency these things happen. Because, you know, Maya's, my partner's grandma, she was naturally on a lucky frequency. People would say she's a lucky person. Because anytime she entered a certain game of luck, she always won the best reward. She always won the best or the greatest possible reward. When she went out onto the field, she always found a 4-leaf flower. Always, always. And many people would say she has this lucky frequency. But the thing is that her grandma was like that, and her grandma was like that, and for her it was her nature to have this thing. She was not living a happier life because of that, because she had no idea how to use that, how to use this in other, you know, areas of her life. But the thing was, it was her frequency because it was her nature. And when you find a new frequency where you just know that these things happen when you're on this frequency. Like, for example, sometimes I talk with entrepreneurs who are very successful, and I ask them, you know, how do you feel about receiving money? And he may say like, well, it's just natural for me. Like, people just want to buy this stuff from me. People know it's great, the quality is great, and I just find clients almost naturally. He's not fighting, he's not trying, he's not, you know, I don't know, repeating certain affirmations. It's just natural for him because he's doing it for such a long time that it became his nature. So he stepped into a box where these things are just happening. But, you know, that's why this 111 is so interesting, because when you start seeing it, it's like a sign from the universe. You are ready to tap into this new box, to create a new box, but you need to become a leader of this box. In the previous box, someone else was a leader. Maybe your parents, maybe governments, maybe your boss, maybe someone else. That new box needs to be designed the way that you are the leader there. A few days ago, someone said to me, like, you know, I don't mind about my boss much because my real boss is God. And it touched me. And when you're designing that new box, you need to understand that the only force that is truly above you is the source. It's God. It is universal consciousness. Not your parents, not your ancestors, not your boss, not any religious figure or anyone, but consciousness. And consciousness wants you to experiment with these ideas, because every time we experience or we experiment with certain ideas, something interesting starts happening. We start opening up our minds to new possibilities, and we open up our hearts by feeling new way. And it's a work. And it's like a sport. You practice it and you become good at it. So when you tap into that new box, you can write it down on a piece of paper like a cloud, my new box of reality. You can visualize it stepping into a new box. You can just think about it. But once again, I want to remind you, and you can write it down, there is no new beginning without ending of something old. And you need to decide right at this moment if you want to use the energy of 111 for transformation. You must end what is not serving you anymore. And you know what is not serving you anymore. Think about your belief systems. Recognize limiting beliefs. Identify thoughts that hold you back, and you will notice there are certain thoughts that are not allowing you to experience financial abundance. Like, maybe you think money is bad, money is evil, money is the root of all evil, or whatever you believe. But the thing is, it's all real for you. You've experienced that. You have proofs of that. You've met people who've been maybe evil for you. and having a lot of money, and you may attach the cord of money to this kind of people, and that's why you're avoiding money. But well, I've met also many good people, many incredible people who are abundantly rich. So it's really what you believe to be true, and that's why it's maybe so hard for you to get out of poverty. To get out of poverty, well, you need to get into that new box and create for yourself new beliefs. So when it comes to whatever you're changing, your beliefs need to match your new reality. What is your new reality? Identify it, who you are, what kind of life you're leading, what kind of life you're beginning right now. One example is when I've started my art career, I said for myself, I'm valuing my art. I will not sell art for no money. I value my art. I know my art is unique. I know I channel it, it comes through me. And life blessed me with this gift. And I deserve to be abundant for that, because only this way I can help millions of people. I can travel the world and help people. I can bring more art to display if I am abundantly rich for that, right? So I set a higher price for it. And you know what started happening when I've started believing into this possibility, when I've started saying to myself, this is my nature. People are just buying my art. When people were asking me, how is it going? I said, well, it's incredible. Like, I can't believe people are just buying my art. Doesn't matter how much is the price, they pay me more than what I ask. And that's actually what started happening. People started paying me more than what I've asked. And you know what? Well, it started turning out exactly the way I believe to be true for me. So I can make a living doing what I love, inspiring people through art, healing people through art, helping people through art. And only because I've started matching my beliefs with my ideal reality. I've started shifting my identity, that new box. I've noticed that when I step into that new box, I become a new version of myself. I don't think about what's not possible. I only think about what's possible. I don't feel insecure or unworthy in that new box, or scared or sad. I feel excited. I feel grateful. I feel at peace. Actually, the most dominant emotion in that new box is peace. Because I've noticed when I was visualizing receiving, like, I don't know, whatever amount of money for a certain painting, I was just feeling at peace. Because once I've started actually receiving these certain amounts of money for my art, I've noticed, well, of course, firstly you feel great, you feel joyful, you feel grateful, but then you'll notice you're just at peace because you can do everything with greater ease. Like, having financial freedom brings you more ease in your life, right? So I've noticed, well, maybe I don't need to feel an intense gratitude and force myself into an intense gratitude. I just need to be at peace with myself because it's already real. In that new box, it's already real. And then it's just a matter of how long you can stay in that new box. Mentally, when you're living your life day by day, do you need to return into this new box? Do you just, make it happen? Whatever you need, you don't need to attach to this work. Without doing it, it's impossible for you to stay in that new attitude. But if you need to do it consistently, like for me, I do it every single morning for 1 hour. I go into that new box because there's always something that I still haven't figured out, and I just, work through it creatively. Where is your attention when you're in that new box of reality, where all the walls are filled with your ideal reality? Where is your attention? Is it on problems, or is it on, playfulness, creativity, flow state, the loss of time, the zone? When I've started painting, I've started experiencing very long states of loss of time, being in the zone. And I've noticed this is such an incredible thing, because when I forget about time and space, well, I don't care anymore what happened, what didn't happen. And I've noticed, isn't it a God state? Like when Everything that truly exists is this moment. Isn't it God's state? And I wish everyone would find something that allows them to be in that state. And if you know how to work with this shifting the box, and I'm just using a box as an example because it's easy to visualize it or to imagine it. You know, when you are in that new box, what emotions are dominant for you? What emotions are dominant for you? Because if reality truly is just a simulation, well, wouldn't it be the easiest to just step outside of an old movie and create a new one, write a script for a new one, and step into that new movie where maybe things haven't happened immediately, but you know that your attitude, your state of being, your identity, your beliefs are writing it moment by moment, are creating it moment by moment. And if it hasn't happened yet, well, just keep going. Keep going. Maybe aim towards a bit smaller goal so you can see first manifestations of the changes you've created. So you notice these are certain new beginnings. 111 brings you an incredible message. It's time for you to tap into a new beginning. Don't wait. Sometimes I see people, yeah, I hoped and I was, I'm getting these messages and nothing changed. Well, nothing changed because you haven't changed anything. Sometimes people just watch this for fun or watch this to distract themselves, and it's a waste of time. Like, you can watch hundreds of videos and you don't change anything, well, nothing can change. But if you really go into a new box, or you change your identity, you decide that you will live in this ideal reality, even though it's not real for you yet, you are now getting into it. You're finding that frequency where you are more at peace, where you're actually getting out of the prison of the past, and you are getting into a position of a leader that is beginning a new life right at this moment. Hold on there. And when you lose it, well, repeat the practice. Get back into it and embody the new you. The new you in the new body, in the new reality. This is a new frequency, and that new frequency will bring to you what is expected for that new frequency. And man, I expect for the frequency I'm tapping in only what's ideal for that frequency. So I tap into the frequency of abundance. I tap into the frequency of creativity. I tap into the frequency of peace, of love, of fun. I love that. And I'm only giving you this because the universe asked me to share this with you. So I hope you found something valuable. I hope you can find a way to shift yourself. My friends, also I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting, and to anyone who would like to get a piece of it, you can go and check out our store, AttractPassion.com, where you can find all of my art, or it's a store, I Draw My Passion. Go and check it out. If you would love to support my work, or if you would like to get a piece of it that will remind you of what truly matters for you. My friends, till next time, one love.